Actual education is an organic process requiring free will. Zebidiah Funkbutter believes that one learns by doing. This is why the School of Hard Knocks is an accelerated curriculum. Autodidactics are the ones who change the world for the better, and children are natural autodidactics. If the student does not want to learn, then there is some force which is destroying that natural ability. The brainwashing and systemizing of your soul isn't real education. Real education comes from an endless desire to learn, live, and seek the truth. A good teacher simplifies complexity so well that all voluntarily attending may comprehend. Conversely, many are only interested in stagnant ideological conformity devoid of free speech and independent thought. This in turn discourages rational inquiry. But schools should teach you to question everything you hear and show you alternative ways of getting at the truth. Why? Because an educated citizenry is a vital requisite for our survival as a free people. However, as more and more parents in our society continue to outsource the shaping of our children to those determined to quell self-learning, mass programming advances gradually. This is harmful, as healthy human beings are not a one-size-fits-all proposition. Never have been, never will be. A healthy individual's capacity to be their unique selves is rebuked when forced to the conditioned response of bells, buzzers, and clocks, so as to adhere to the norms imposed by elites for future obedient chattel in the workforce. Perhaps kids being turned into obedient Pavlov dogs should probably be re-examined. And all too often, this barbarous 12-year program is solidly in place to condition students to behave accordingly or be drugged to comply. This recommended medicalization of behavior control has misled and deceived millions of impressionable minds into being incapable of even a fleeting thought independent of their programming. There are dangerous side effects to this tapestry of lies. And yes, of course, our children are vulnerable. We send them off to be led and instructed by others we don't even know. They also have an immense array of behavior modification techniques designed to control its subjects. Let's see, they suspend boys from school for splashing water from the drinking fountain or playing cowboys and Indians during recess. The idiocy continues. I have also witnessed the suspending of second-grade boys for pulling a girl's ponytail and for drawing a picture of a gun. Their befuddled viewpoint that traditional masculinity must be eradicated is further illustrated as they demonically impair the holistic process of boys being made into men. I have a son, and I want to keep him that way. The system was constantly aiming to neuter him. Yikes. Teaching someone to accept a set of beliefs without questioning them is the definition of indoctrination. Double yikes. This cultish indoctrination from first grade onward is a form of mind control, psychological abuse, and child abuse. The seeds for oppression, brainwashing, and warped thinking seem to have germinated when they outlawed dodgeball in grade school. Injun Joe say, "We need joke time." Okay, you got it, my friend. What can you say that is reassuring for a child getting a vaccine, but disappointing for your wife? You're just going to have to feel a tiny prick. It'll be over in a few seconds. Injun Joe say, Oh yeah, and don't forget to give all the kids the mandatory 68 vaccines before being admitted into your institution. Certainly disarming your natural autoimmunities must be a good thing. The corruption of science and research has led to the coercive, unconstitutional mandating of vaccinations in schools. Thank goodness vaccines do not contain mercury and aluminum, which are brain damaging. A society where no one asks questions is a society that cannot advance. You see, when anyone dictates how one should think, and anyone who has doubts, is questioning, or has dissent is punished, then it is a cult. Come on, even Helen Keller and Stevie Wonder are aware that any boy who exemplifies independence or vitality immediately gets diagnosed with ADHD, then medicated into oblivion. Large doses of Ritalin are vehemently recommended for schoolboys who refuse to behave like schoolgirls. After all, these boys are committing the crime of not being able to physiologically sit in hard seats continuously for 6 hours. This lethal concoction produces robotized citizens where the confused student goes to the school counselor for guidance. Instead of discerning the student's strengths and weaknesses in order to focus him on a clearer, potentially more successful path, the counselor refers him to a psychiatrist. The two most common diagnoses are ADHD and depression, where psychotropic drug prescriptions are doled out like candy to trick-or-treaters. These drugs have proven to cause serious impairment of cognitive function. Yet the psychiatrists expand the definition of the disorders, allowing for additional pharmaceutical drug diagnoses and therefore further prescription writing of drugs, which often induce violence and neurological deterioration. The school district then has the audacity to label anyone they cannot keep in their schools a juvenile delinquent. People are born with certain aptitudes, and thankfully, our great teachers assess these aptitudes and help provide the nurturing and opportunities to develop them. Keep in mind, gang, their job description has come to include being surrogate parents, drug counselors, cops, and social workers. Give them a break. This ain't the 1950s with Father Knows Best and Leave It to Beaver households. Let's hear it for them.